he need to get used to the power and pressure of 168 because it's different, big difference, to be honest.
Prior to the match, Dmitry Bivol expressed his thoughts on a prospective Canelo-Crawford battle. He stated that Crawford was highly smart and educated, but his size would work in favor of Canelo. Bivol, who had previously defeated Canelo, believed Crawford would struggle to cope with the added weight.
Getting used to the power, and it's also about be mentally ready, because when people are not prepared them mentally, they like afraid or scared. You become weak, your body become weak.
Kofi Jantua questioned Terence Crawford's willingness to fight Canelo Alvarez, 168 pounds. To put it bluntly, Crawford is far too talented an athlete to attempt such a weight jump, which is not only hazardous, but also potentially devastating. After all, Canelo is a player who has worked hard over the years to establish himself as a power in the super middleweight class.
If I'm betting, I put my money on Canelo. Crawford, great fighter, but jumping from 47, he just fought at 54. He won, but it wasn't spectacular performance. Then you jump 60, 68. It's a different. We have weight division for a reason in boxing. Canelo comfortable.
Instead, he looks to be totally at home, arguing over what is comfortable, who is in charge, and what his own skills are. Crawford, on the other hand, has fought in much less challenging weight categories, and Jantua highlighted that there is a point at which physicality becomes more significant than people want to admit.
But gonna have to do a lot in this fight to win. He have no time to be comfortable. You can't be comfortable in that ring. You gotta be on point and every minute.
Jantua cited experience with the same weight as a significant influence. Canelo has fought wars at 168 pounds and understands how to translate that frame into 12 rounds. Crawford, who has been undefeated at lighter weights, will also make his debut in this arena. Crawford's lack of familiarity, as Jantua said, could be the deciding factor.
Canelo is strong at that division. It's very solid. And he's been there, he grew there. He's been there for a while. He fought a lot of big guys. He's been hit by big guys. Crawford, in his case, is stepping up, jumping weight. I mean, people say, oh, he's trying to be great. Yeah, it's great to be great. But it's a tough challenge. And I respect him for, stepping up to it.
This bout has generated a lot of excitement. Both combatants are regarded as pound-for-pound superstars, and the contrast in their fighting styles adds to the excitement surrounding the event. Crawford, who has never lost and has an incredible record of victories since his breakthrough at 140 and then moved up to 147, hopes to make history as the first male boxer to capture an uncontested title in 3 weight classes during the 4-belt period. Joe Rogan was ecstatic when discussing a potential battle between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, calling it the bout between 2 of the all-time greats. He mentioned Crawford as an extraordinarily uncommon skill, how he is such a superb switch hitter that he has been compared to one of boxing's most revered giants, Marvin Hagler.
Great. It's going to be a great fight. You're dealing with 2 all-time greats. Crawford's one of the best switch hitters, I think, since Marvin Hagler, and one of the most skillful boxers alive. And then you have Canelo, who probably isn't the same guy as he was just like a few years ago.
Right.
But still, one of the greatest of all time, still has brutal knockout power.
Rogan then went to Canelo, claiming that, despite the fact that the Mexican is no longer at his peak in terms of age, he remains one of the most magnificent and fully fledged boxers. When discussing recent knockouts of Amir Khan and Billy Joe Saunders, Rogan emphasized mobile and powerful hands, which might be difficult for any opponent to this day.
Back to like some of his, like more impressive fights from a few years ago, like the Amir Khan KO, like the Billy Joe Saunders KO, those KO. Like, he's probably not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
But he's still young enough that he's still pretty close to his prime and one of the best of them.
Sean Porter, a former welterweight monarch who sparred with Crawford, offers an even more favorable outlook. reporter has no difficulty admitting his former foe, implying that Crawford, with his high ring IQ and other adaptive traits, may be the holder of the answer that can shatter Canelo's present advantage over other potential opponents. He explained, "I'm riding with Bud. I have been in there with him. I know what he delivers, and Terence Crawford is the one to pull it off." Canelo is an ex-for division champion and the current uncontested 168-pound division king, as well as one of the sport's most marketable and dangerous opponents. Despite having fought more than 60 times professionally, Canelo remains in excellent physical condition, and he emanates a terrible sensation of control distance, walking down his opponent and unleashing deadly body blows that pose an overwhelming threat to even a gifted fighter like Crawford. Bernard Hopkins, who could not hide his feelings about the possible conflict, relied on a time-tested principle: size does matter. With decades of ring experience and one that is focused on learning the fundamentals, this principle has not been incorrect. In his case, it is never about technique or the roar of the audience. It is always about what happens when a naturally larger fighter faces a smaller one, particularly at the greatest level.
I always say, as my quote from the history of boxing, a good big man will always beat a good little man. Yeah. So I'm going with the big man.
Bernard Hopkins, a boxing star, chimed in on Canelo Alvarez's side due to his size. Hopkins, who has never disputed being a basic and physical fighter, has even warned that no matter how skilled a fighter is, climbing up in weight to face the upper echelon will get you beaten senseless. He claimed that size matters, always has, and always will. Canelo lives at 168 and is built to withstand the smoke that's a mountain but has never scaled. Dmitry Bivol provided a realistic assessment of Terence Crawford's chances versus Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing the importance of mental preparation. He didn't only concentrate on physical size or strength, he stressed how mental preparation may tilt the scales for a tiny fighter entering such risky zone.
It's very important also for this fight. Even his one weight class or two weight class lower, if he's mentally ready, he will be ready to get these punches and be okay with this. He could be good.
Dmitry Bivol addressed the issue of what Terence Crawford may utilize to defeat Canelo Alvarez with amazing insight. He emphasized that having a strong mind would not be enough. Crawford would need to combine that mental preparation with rigorous physical conditioning. Bivol noted that gaining weight does not imply trying harder or believing in oneself. It's about being comfortable getting punched by larger men while simultaneously remaining confident.
He's strong mentally, and he won this fight from the core, how I see, and it gives him credit with this mentality to get the power from 168. Bigger guys, he need to get punches, he need to be confident that he's okay with these punches. He need to be confident that he will go in the ring and he could get the punches from Canelo and he will be okay with this.
The issue about this battle is that the two men aren't the same inside the ring. Canelo is a furious, roughhouse counter-punching granite chin with a body attack that has exhausted even the most accomplished fighter. He is also one of the most composed athletes under duress, having gone 12 rounds with the best in several levels. When it appeared that the discussion was deadlocked, another figure, Julio Cesar Chavez, threw down his own hammer. Chavez was also renowned for beating about the bush, therefore he didn't play it safe and made aggressive decisions. He predicted that Crawford would be unable to win due to the massive contrast in size, strength, and pressure. And when a player who towers over his age group addresses his thoughts with such finality, ears pay heed.
Mira, Crawford es un gran peleador, ¿me entiendes? Eso nadie lo duda y todo el mundo lo sabemos. Pero en su peso, ¿me entiendes? Ya subir 3 divisiones es ir por el dinero, ¿me entiendes? De que le va a dar pelea, Canelo le va a dar pelea, pero de que le va a ganar, no hay por...
Amir Khan, who fought both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, described Crawford as a slick, unpredictable, and difficult-to-read persona who made the fight antagonizing rather than brutal. The fact that he recognizes is just muddies the waters of the present debate about talent and defensive supremacy, implying that Canelo may be bringing the muscle, but Crawford may be bringing the ring IQ to counter it.
What could beat him? Because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo. And he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
He provided something unusual and extremely revealing for persons with first-hand knowledge. Speaking as someone who had witnessed both battles, Khan noted the difference in the fighters' openness during their matches. Although Canelo possessed both power and presence, Khan stated that he was capable of landing clean shots on the Mexican star, implying that, while extremely dangerous, Canelo could still be timed and touched.
Both, like, what are the differences between them?
Canelo's strong and is easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. They both hit hard because, and you could see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong as well. So, look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Another past champion who never lost during his career, Andre Ward, a longtime Crawford booster, allied with him in this fight. Ward focused on fitness and mindset, stating that Crawford performs best when he is underestimated. He believes, but has always proven himself in divisions by adapting, dominating, and delivering. He stated, "Don't let size fool you. Crawford is both a technician and a dog. He thrives for moments like these. If anyone can make history, it's Bud. Crawford is the supreme strategist. Greasy, polite, and deceptively forceful. He can change positions during the battle, deconstruct with precise angles and precision, and is more versatile than most others in the sport. He has been compared to all-time greats because he can manipulate the tempo, encourage opponents' mistakes, and then correct them with pinpoint accuracy." Chris Algieri added a new dimension to the Canelo-Crawford fight by avoiding the power and size debates that dominated previous conversations. Otherwise, he concentrated on the psychological component of the conflict, arguing that Crawford's most dangerous weapon is his thinking. In Algier's view, it's not only about punching the hardest or being the biggest. It's also about being as sharp as possible when the heat's on.
I've seen Canelo pushed around. I've never seen Terence pushed around. So when you're talking about who's going to be the boss, I've never seen anyone boss Terence Crawford. I've seen Canelo get bossed. So that just psychologically, when you think about that, and this is a fight where I flip-flop on both guys because there's so many good points. Yeah, but he's 168. Yeah, but it's Terence Crawford. He's undefeated. Well, yeah, no, this guy's beating this, but stylistic. Even he hits him on the arm. There's so many different things you can talk about. But from a psychological standpoint, who's fresher, who's meaner, who wants it more? That's going to come into play.
The technical questions are as follows. Can Canelo's bulk and strength overpower Crawford, who has never fought beyond 150 pounds? Or can Crawford's superior footwork, timing, and boxing IQ cancel out Canelo's pressure and irritate him throughout 12 rounds? When some argue that the weight lead is too large, others argue that Crawford's quickness and versatility give him a possibility of a successful surprise win. In an in-depth interview with experienced boxing writer Dan Rafael, broadcaster A. Oladipo discussed the problem of weight and how it influences a fought match at the top level. Behind the simple, surface measures of height and muscular anatomy, during the first portion of the conversation, Oladipo highlighted that what matters most in boxing is a boxer's ability to resist a hit, also known as punch resistance. According to him, most fans misinterpret or ignore this.
Neil kind of made a great point when talking about sizes. Because he said, if you look at them two together now, they look the same size. He said, people have got the idea of the size thing wrong. It's not looking at them as a physical package. It's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So, and it was good. It was a very good point. He was like, Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the better part of a decade.
Basically.
He's so used to taking those shots.
Based on that, Oladipo believes Canelo Alvarez has a chance because to his naturally heavier physique, which allows him to sustain big hits for the full 12 rounds of a battle. However, he did not rule out Terence Crawford. According to Oladipo, Crawford is intellectually smart, adaptive, and tough enough to overcome such disparities, as evidenced by his blows against boxers of various weights. As the hype about a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez gets bigger, there are those who do not buy the notion that it equals Mayweather-Canelo. Some analysts believe that this fight is radically different in terms of intensity. It's about tenacity and timing, not defensive abilities and fancy footwork. Robert Garcia fought back against lazy analogies, citing his own years of expertise. He emphasized that Canelo is a very different boxer now than he was when he first faced Mayweather almost a decade ago. Garcia claims that Canelo is smarter, more disciplined, and much stronger, as well as capable of adapting and breaking down opponents over time.
Been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade. Yeah. What's Crawford going to be like? So basically trying to say, Canelo could easily absorb Crawford shots. Can Crawford easily absorb Canelo's punches?
If you're taking shots from Triple G, Sergey Kovalev, Dmitry Bivol, and you're staying on your feet, not getting hurt,
not even getting wobbled.
Not even getting wobbled, just literally shaking it off. Yeah. You can take Terence Crawford shots.
Jim Lampley provided a comprehensive examination of Canelo and what makes him unique, including the unlocked country code of decades of expertise in the radio booth. He was not only appreciating Canelo's accomplishments in recent years, but he was actually explaining why the Mexican is on a different level than the other sportsmen. It is not purely physical strength or mental effort. It is how Canelo catches his opponents, interrupts their rhythm, and maintains control in the most difficult rounds.
Totally different. I think, Canelo was only 23, he was very young. I think this fight's gonna be great. I do see Crawford maybe pulling it off because he's got good footwork, good speed, but I don't think they're close. I don't similar those two fights, Canelo and Floyd. I think they're just different styles. I mean, Floyd and Crawford.
The most fuel was poured to the fire by Lonnie B, a former professional who sparred with Mayweather and did not hesitate to point out the similarities as incorrect. In his own words, he denied Crawford was mimicking flow and underlined Crawford's unique individuality in the ring. His speech was guilt-free, based on real-life gym experience, and he understands the distinction between imitation and invention.
He knows how to make fireworks when he absolutely has to make fireworks. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down, put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time, Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan.
Teofimo Lopez has fueled the Canelo versus Crawford argument by making a proclamation all about him. A $10,000 wager was placed on Canelo Alvarez to win, and he would battle his father, who had bet on Terence Crawford. The money was not the only issue with the bet, but rather a foreshadowing of the tremendous level of engagement that even great fighters have in the matchup. In the instance of Teofimo, it demonstrated complete confidence in Canelo's expertise, might, and prowess when facing a smooth operator like Crawford on a huge stage. In the meantime, Teofimo Lopez Sr. had his reasons for choosing Crawford. Most individuals base their decisions on statistics or what their coaches and commentators have told them, but Lopez Sr. bases them on something more natural, what he has witnessed himself. During his time with Crawford, he had a physical sign that he was concerned about something with Crawford's legs. He merely had to mistrust Crawford's conditioning and ability to perform the pound weight.
I think if Canelo said that, Canelo's punch drunk. To say that Crawford, I don't care what version of Crawford we get, he's not better than Floyd Mayweather. Floyd is special in his own right. I don't think he's the greatest, but I definitely think he's top 5, top 6. You know what I'm saying? Floyd was special, man. Floyd had that it factor. Crawford is good too, but in my personal opinion, Crawford just don't have that sizzle. You know what I'm saying? I think he's been matched right in his career. But Crawford is a dog. He know how to get the job done. But I would never say he's better than Floyd Mayweather. Absolutely not.
That's all for today's video. So, what are your feelings about this? Please share your ideas in the comments box. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and like it. Also, check out our other videos on the screen to the right.